This morning we filed a 60-count complaint on behalf of 20 families that live in northern Luzerne County and southern Wyoming County, and whose lives have been greatly affected by a triethylene glycol dehydration plant. Many of you in the press remember back in November when that plant basically exploded, causing the families to endure an hour of noise that was described by one of the family members, Charlie Malarkey, a Vietnam veteran, as sounding like a battlefield in Vietnam. Others suggested it was like 10 747s landing in their front yard. Some of the families, because of the bucolic nature of the area where that plant was placed, have sheep and cows and horses, all of which ended up getting out of their pens, and it just created havoc. And they've been living with a constant drumbeat of noise. They drive by it and see fumes from the smokestacks. The vibration shakes the pictures on their walls and the screens in their homes. And none of them feel that it's wrong that we have gas drilling, but the fact of the matter is, none of them, when they bought their houses, expected to have a gas drilling operation in their backyard. You know, when we explore for oil and gas in Saudi Arabia, we're out in the desert. When we do it in West Texas, we're out in scrublands where no one lives. We do it in North Dakota, we're not impacting neighborhoods. But when you come to Luzerne County and put one of these plants in the backyard of good citizens that bought their homes, you destroy the quiet enjoyment of their properties. And that's just plain unjust and unfair. And we believe it may very well be unsafe. It's for that reason we have filed this action. We've asked as damages from the gas company that they consider how they have destroyed the value of these people's homes, their quiet enjoyment of the properties, and the health concerns that they may have. Some have had numerous bloody noses since this has happened, skin rashes, headaches, ringing in their ears. So all of those things we're going to ask the court to look at. And again, this is not about being anti-drilling, it's being responsible as to how we drill, how we explore, and how we process the gas once it is drilled and explored. Anybody have any questions?
Is it possible to do them with the microphone?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, they're closer. Stay right. You know what? Everybody kind of stay where you are if you don't mind. Okay. See if we can cut this all together. Good. Okay.
Todd, as far as the class action lawsuit, what are the damages we're seeking here?
Well, it's not a class action.
Okay.
It's an individual lawsuit brought by a group of people. There's about 35 impacted persons and 20 families. And what we're looking for is money damages for the diminution of the value of their property. A home, again in a rural setting, with a plant like that is destroyed most of the value of living in the country. We're going to be looking for the loss of quiet enjoyment of their homes. Being able to sit on your porch at night and gaze at the stars when you live out in the country is something that people like to do. And having to listen to the constant hum and drum of this plant, living in the constant fear of the unknown as to what type of gases and heavy metals are coming down on their property from the smokestacks adjacent to it.
What is the dollar figure that you put to this?
Well, we believe each one of the families is entitled to damages in excess of $75,000. Pennsylvania is a state that has an unusual system. We're not allowed to sue or tell a jury that we want a specific dollar amount, but just in excess of a certain amount.
Taking on a natural gas processor, is this uncharted waters for you?
It's uncharted waters in the Marcellus shale. We have filed other nuisance complaints. We filed cases for water contamination. This is the first triethyl glycine dehydration plant that we have alleged is a nuisance, but we expect that there are more out there.
You wouldn't have filed the case if you didn't think you had a good chance of winning it. Just if you would just talk about that.
Well, I don't think there's any question that the plant has failed. I don't think there's any question in anybody's mind that these families have been subjected to horrible sounds, and there's no question that the byproduct of the cleansing of this natural gas, when it comes in, it has water in it. They try to get the water out, but there's also dangerous chemicals, and we believe that all of these people have been suffering since they put the plant in, and we do believe it's a good case.
Now, how long, the history on the plant, how long has it been in?
2012. It hasn't been
relatively new.
It failed twice within the first 6 months that it was there.
September, November were the dates on that?
September and November. That's correct.
I believe it was Black Friday morning, if I'm not mistaken. Day after
That's correct. Yep.
Good. Cool.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you so much.
And then any individuals who
Isn't
might
it
want
just
to
into Wyoming County? I think isn't it a jurisdictional nightmare?
Half of the plaintiffs are Luzerne County residents. The other half are Wyoming County residents. It sits right on the edge of Wyoming County.
Right. It literally touches the Luzerne County border, but it's in Wyoming.
And what is the name of the company?
Chapin. It's PVR Partners and PVR Marcellus Gas Gathering. I'll give you a copy of the
Okay.
complaint.
Thank you. Thank you.
20 families from Luzerne and Wyoming counties claim the natural gas industry is destroying their neighborhood. Their attorney filed a lawsuit on their behalf this morning in Luzerne County Court. The suit is against PVR Partners and PVR Marcellus Gas Gathering, LLC, for damages of $75,000 per family. Those families claim the natural gas dehydration station has impacted their lives, caused damage, and loss of property value.
Our lights and our fans were actually vibrating. I had a building in the back. When I went in it, the whole building was vibrating.
Calls to PVR Partners corporate headquarters were returned earlier this evening. They commented saying they have yet to see the lawsuit and declined to go any further.